class. I'm Sergio. I'm gonna talk to you guys about drugs and like the types of drugs, the effects of drugs, and the medical use, if there's any. Okay. First of all, I want to start out by saying that we believe everything the government says. I mean, just because they're called the government, right? But they don't like exactly expose everything about the drugs. So I'm gonna educate. I'm gonna educate you guys and like explain to you the facts about these drugs. I personally know people that do all these drugs and like they tell me about them. Like I found out a lot of details through this. Okay, first of all, I want to talk about the types of drugs. There's psychedelics, there's hallucinogens, there's stimulants, and there's sedatives. Psychedelics alter perception, right? For example, an example of psychedelic is LSD, or we also know it as acid, right? It causes an altered thinking process, or like you call it overanalyzing, and it seems amazing to you. Like you just love thinking. You see visuals with closed eyes or like open eyes. Your sense of time is altered. Like you totally lose track of time. Like you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's up. And then, oh yeah, and also like the monks. You know the monks, like they're really into LSD. Like if you research them, like because people that use LSD have had the religious people that use LSD. They say that they've experienced the most spiritual experience ever. So that's why monks are into this acid stuff a lot. There's also stimulants. Oh no, hallucinogens. Obviously, hallucinogens hallucinate. Like they just make you see stuff that's not really there. For example, mushrooms or shrooms. I mean, basically all they do is just cause hallucinations, right? The stimulants are also known as uppers. Like stimulants just get you up and active. An example is ecstasy. It's a mild hallucinogen, and I read it in a book by A.A. Buettner, his book called Neuropathology and Applied Neurobiology. He said that it elevates the user's mood and it causes them to be happy, and it causes a euphoria. You guys know what euphoria is? Okay, like when they say that this drug causes a euphoric high, it means that it gives you like this, I guess you could say like this energy through your body that feels so good, like physically. So that's what ecstasy gives you. There's also another drug called sedatives. Sedatives are also downers. An example of a sedative is heroin, which is like a really dangerous drug. Hold on. And heroin causes the user to drift in and out of an intense sleep, but during the sleep and while they're awake, they have this like the extreme, like a very, very powerful euphoria. That's why drug users refer to it as either the best drug or the worst drug, because the best because it feels the best, but the worst because it's the worst come down. I'm going to talk to you about the effects of abuse. The effects of abuse are possible, but they're not certain. Like, it kind of just, I mean, the government makes it seem like, oh, if you use this once, so much, so this is going to happen to you. It's possible, you know, like the more you take, the more effects you'll feel, right? First of all, take into account that acid and mushrooms, they're not addictive. So keep that in mind. Too much acid simply is gonna cause mental fatigue. You only need like a little bit, like one drop of acid to feel the effects, right? You feel the effects for hours. So in order to overdose on it, you'll need like thousands and thousands and thousands of little drops, basically making the acid non-toxic. So you have to take a lot, but there has been no recorded deaths of LSD acid. So yeah. Mushrooms can be potentially dangerous, especially if you do too much. A heavy dosage is considered 5 grams of dried mushrooms. So taking that, okay, like something bad might happen. Ultimately death and stomach failure. So stay away from that. Ecstasy is the most popular, especially among teenagers, but it's also the most deadly. The government swears that you can like die the first time you try it. It's possible again, but all the 68% of the recorded deaths have been because of overdosing, and each of these recorded people that died, they all took more than 4. Okay. Ecstasy causes, like the effects of ecstasy, it causes muscle aches, it causes jaw clenching, dehydration. Like if you ever do this, just keep hydrating. Again, heroin, the after effects of too much heroin, you get like intense nausea, muscle aches, stomach cramps, and you get migraines, like horrible migraines. Okay, I just told you guys about some of the effects. Now I'm going to talk to you guys about medical use. It's pretty interesting. LSD was discovered, I forgot the guy's name, but he was trying to use it in medical, but when he found out about it, when he like discovered LSD, like it wasn't what he was looking for, so it was discovered accidentally. But there's like no medical use. Mushrooms, the psychedelic mushroom, no, I mean that's just a drug to like trip out. Ecstasy started in 1954 as a diet pill, as a weight loss pill because it reduces appetite, but it was legal for less than a year. And it was also used as an antidepressant for people that had suffered with severe depression, but now it's illegal. And what was the other one? No, heroin, ecstasy, mushrooms, and oh yeah, heroin has always been illegal. All right, anyways, I just want to tell you guys before doing any of this, just like remember the consequences you can suffer. I educated you with like a neutral point of view, like not really leaning on the bad side, on the good side or anything. I talked to you guys about the types of drugs, the effects, the abuse, and the medical use, if it exists. Hopefully you won't get curious about any of this. That's all I'd say.